Soul MAkossa. Angela. Mama sa MAkossa. Mama sa MAkossa. Mama sa MAkossa. Mama sa MAkossa.
Hello, welcome to Successful Trading for this daily / weekly market recap to go over some of the things that you have seen and to prepare for the next week. Not sure what part of the world you are watching from, but we thankful that you are here spending your time on this video. You could be doing other things, but I'm glad that you are learning to earn money and to set yourself up for a bright future. So without any further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. All right, so let's start by the SPY chart on TradingView, because it seems like we always start there, but SPY, as you know, or as you are learning, is the barometer of the overall market. So if SPY is bullish, meaning that it's trending up, most of the stock will be trending up, and vice versa. So this week here, if there's one thing that we need to take a look at here, is that the range, we traded in a range. The first 2 days of the week were an inside bar, meaning that the price from Tuesday ended up retracing all of the price that were traded on Monday. And then really the day that there was a trade was on Wednesday, when the market sharply gapped down. So, and that's coincidental, well, at least for if you are new, but for us it's not a coincidence, right? We have written an article on the blog successfultrading.com where we have pun the word the Melissa trade. Well, this is the Melissa trade here, folks, because this is at the beginning of the month. It calls for, hey, you can trade SPY at the beginning of every month for the first 3 days or whatever, where you set yourself up with a strangle, where meaning that you buy a put and you buy a call. And in this case, if you were to do that, you will have gotten here at the close 257.75, and then the next day you open at 247. That's 10 points. So the recommendation in a normal market without volatility is 3 points apart. Here you got 3 times that. So meaning that those put definitely would have made you some money on there. But the rest, after that Wednesday, the rest of the week here, it was really just a sideways type of thing. So market makers here, but here's the analysis that we have right now. You see this yellow line? The exponential moving average 20 period. It's serving as a resistance, right? So here, throughout all of this mess, since we started on February 24th, we fell below. The price is yet to go above that yellow line. So this is an indication that for us as of now, we cannot be bullish in this market. Wish that happened last week. It gave us some hope last Friday when we were making the weekly video. We said, what did we say? We said that we had to come to a resolution. Either the price was going to start moving up, but it moved back down actually, and then it did some sideways, wasn't severe. But here's the pattern that I want you to take a look at. This is an inside bar, we talked about it. Here's another inside bar, and then we have back-to-back inside bar. This action on here is just a state that we can summarize that bulls and bear, they are still fighting. We're not sure of the direction of now, so it's an indecision. My study that I'm here to reveal to you, I keep saying that, I'm just introducing you to these concepts, is that this typically resolve itself on the downside. Most of the time. It's not a perfect science or anything, but most of the time it will resolve itself to the downside. So be on the lookout next week at looking for action somewhere here. And this pattern here of a reverse U or whatever you want to call it, that's something that actually we saw in a lot of things. This is an inside bar here as well that's resolved to the downside. So usually it may take a day or two, but with this market, you never know. Here's another inside bar here that's resolved in a big downside. So That's what the study says. So we will be on the lookout on that for next week. So some of the things that we have to get ready for next week. Dark pool prints that came from Floalgo this week. So I want to quickly highlight some of them. And before I do that, I apologize. There have been a lot of questions on Floalgo on the channel. A lot of questions. I'm trying to answer them. But here's the next step that I'm gonna take. Given the times that we live in, I understand that some people may be financially strapped as of now. So here's what I'm gonna offer. If you are serious about learning to trade and you have already opened your account, here's what I'm going to do. Send me an email, and then we are going to set up something for you how to trial Floalgo for 2 weeks. So this is really for just the serious people. So you already have an account, but you don't have Floalgo yet. So that's the way you will be able to follow this video at the same time as you have access to Floalgo. So for 2 weeks, I can sponsor those trials, but only for serious traders. So just send me a private email for that, and we'll see how we can. That's our part here, successful trading in helping each other in this time of pandemic. So few dark pool that came from Floalgo. So the first one that was noticed was JP Morgan. This one, I think, was it on Thursday or Wednesday. So that price on JP Morgan, where they took that dark pool was at what there. This is JP Morgan, was at 86 86, I believe was 86. Let's go to this one here. It was 86.80 or something. Because okay, it was somewhere here. It was somewhere here. So this price action, it's actually that if you were to take that trade there, you would have made some money in just 2 days. So that $3 move there or thereabouts. And I believe that typically when they do that, it's not just for $3, folks. So these folks, either they know something, because that's so has been a couple of days now. So by third, fourth day, by the end of next week, we're gonna have a resolution here on this JP Morgan. So let's go to the daily. So here's the daily, same thing. I mean, it mirror what we saw on SPY. We tried the previous week to go up a rally, but we came back down. And here, sideways action the last 3 days. So this coming week, something gonna happen. So since we are currently trading below that dark print, we can maybe assume that they shorted the stock. So if you are not familiar with shorting, we will make a video on that. But basically, that means that they are bearish. They think that the stock will be going down, and so look for action. I think 80 to retest. It's a good target price. What else? The next one that we have, maybe I should just stay on the same one. The next one that we have on here was Square, right? Square came in today. So this one is fresh one, but oh boy, Square. Look at all this run, all of these gap ups here, and then all of a sudden we are going the reverse direction, my friends. So that one was at 44. Yeah, it was 400,000 shares at $44 today. So that would be very interesting. So either somebody knows something that this is the bottom, and in which case we will do a similar run here, or something will be happening. These are the stock that remember how we described that SPY was sideways? So one of the risks on here when the market is doing this sideways, when you're trading option, is that you can overtrade, meaning you are taking too many trades, too many risks without no action, and the stock are not moving. When that happens, well, your accounts will be suffering, because theta, the time factor in the option, will make it that you will be losing money with little movement in the stock. So while we're in that type of situation, and we recognize that, that's where it's good to have Floalgo, because you can focus strictly on the stock that you know, the smart money, as we call it, they have put the chips in. So meaning you are just really following the smart money. So that's a discipline that you have to take on there, and you can base your entire strategy only on that. So one of the things that I'm going to encourage those who are going to take the leap on getting a sponsorship to try Flow Algo is that during those 2 weeks, within a couple of days, you will have a gist of what's going on inside of Flow Algo. So your goal will be to make money such that you can start your trading career and you're able to pay the membership fee for Flow Algo, because we shared a video on this YouTube channel, right, where just one of those setups like the one that you are sharing on here return, I think, over 1,000% on there. So imagine you put $50 on the trade and then the next day you could be having 500. So 500 is more than enough to pay for 1 month, and so on and so on. That's the strategy that I recommend to start for those who are starting in the trading career. So the last one, so we talk about JP Morgan, we talk about Square with the dark level. So who else do we have here on paper? We have, I think, was it Wells Fargo? Yeah, Wells Fargo. The banks, I trade banks typically. My favorite one that I've gotten into the habit of trading is JP Morgan. I trade it more than any other one. Sometimes Bank of America. Bank of America options are relatively low volatility in normal times. So it's just that typically they don't tend to move. So, and for me, I have the theory that I'm going to develop that later on. If I have the choice in the same industry, so like banks, right, or in the same sector, between a stock that's at 20 something dollar or a stock that's at $100, it's better to trade option on the stock that's $100 or so, because the moves are bigger. I think that's just something that I've discovered. So initially when I was starting, I will trade those small price stocks. Yeah, in order for them to move, to have a substantial gain, well, yeah, obviously if a stock is, let's say, like Wells Fargo, $26, 1% is about 26 cents. So when a stock like JP Morgan that we just saw, it's 84, or when it was 100 something, 1% for it, yeah, those movements are brutal. So that's another key piece of nuggets that we have on there for you. So that's really summarize this weekly market recap or daily market recap, since we're on a Friday at market close. I'm not sure what you will be doing, but for me, based on the action that we saw this week, next week, the market is closed on Friday, on Ghost Friday. You have to know that the market will be closed on Friday. What's the date? On Friday the 10th, meaning that your options, if you are trading weekly options, will expire on Thursday. Yes, yes. That's don't make that mistake of thinking that you have an extra day if your broker is not reminding you that. So you only have 4 trading days, which is really bad. Meaning that the people who wrote the option that you and I were buying, that's their to the advantage, because they're gonna have 2 days, Saturday and Sundays, accounted, my friend. If let's say you bought option today, the theta, the time factor on it will be taken out on Monday for Saturday and Sunday, and then you won't have Friday on there. So meaning that this week, it's a week where my recommendation is to stay strictly with scalping. Yeah, meaning that trading which you are in for trading, swing trading with the extra day, with the one less day, is not so fitting. So that's a key piece of advice that we wanted to share with you. So hopefully you got something out of this study. Ask question, comment, like the video and share it on social media. And please continue to subscribe for those newcomers who haven't subscribed yet. We are this close of hitting 100 subscribers, and we hope soon to be able to do a live session in this month of April on YouTube. Thank you very much for your time, and we talk to you soon. Bye bye.